Hello, I'm Annie Schwartz from the Milwaukee Police Department, and this is the August edition of Milwaukee's 10 Most Wanted. We're going to show you some pictures, give you a little bit of information on the 10 most wanted criminals here in the city of Milwaukee. We hope you'll give us a call if you have any information on any of these people. Antonio Rushing was wanted on a warrant for felony murder. On Tuesday, July 21, 2009, the victim, along with another individual, went to North 94th Street in West Silver Spring to buy marijuana. When they arrived, they spoke to an individual about purchasing the drugs. While they were doing so, they were approached by Rushing, who was armed with a gun. Rushing announced a robbery and demanded property from the two. During the course of the robbery, a struggle began. Both of the victims attempted to get away from the struggle and were shot. Antonio Rushing is in custody. William F. Dudley is currently wanted on an outstanding warrant for first-degree sexual assault of a child. Now, Dudley is a friend of the victim's family. He used that relationship to get close to the victim, and on 3 different occasions during July 2009, Dudley was able to get the victim alone at his residence in the 5500 block of West Clark Street. He forced several acts of sexual contact with the victim and later was confronted by a member of the victim's family. At that time, Dudley pleaded for the police not to be contacted. When they were called, he ran away. Ronnie J. FONDREN is wanted for robbery, battery, obstructing an officer, and possession of cocaine and theft. On June 25, 2009, officers in the area of North 32nd Street in West Hampton saw a car that matched the description of a vehicle involved in an armed robbery in Wauwatosa. When they tried to make contact with the occupants of the car, one of them ran from the car. While being chased, Ronnie FONDREN armed himself with a piece of wood, which he used to strike the officer. Shondell T. Jackson is wanted for recklessly endangering safety. On July 6, 2009, in the 2300 block of North Holton Street, Jackson and the victim of the shooting witnessed a fight on the street involving 2 women. During this fight, Shondell Jackson produced a gun and fired at the victim. The victim ran and was struck once in the torso. He is wanted on a warrant for recklessly endangering safety. Bobby Jean Jackson is wanted for first-degree recklessly endangering safety and armed robbery. On April 8, 2009, at 25th and Wisconsin, the victim gave the suspect, Jackson, a ride to an ATM machine. As the defendant was about to get out of the auto, she got a knife and demanded money from the victim. Jackson then began swinging the knife, stabbing the victim about her hands and chest, causing injury. The victim fled from the vehicle, at which time Bobby Jean Jackson drove from the scene, taking the victim's car. AMADOR GARCIA-IBARRA is wanted for duty upon striking an occupied or attended vehicle, resulting in death. On March 7, 2009, about 10 p.m. at 25th and National, suspect was operating a vehicle that was involved in an accident that resulted in the death of a passenger in the other car. Suspect failed to immediately stop his car at the scene of the accident and failed to remain at the scene. Vidal Rodriguez-Alvarez is wanted for first-degree reckless homicide. On September 5, 2008, at about 3:45 p.m., while seated in a car in front of South Division High School, the victim and another individual, who are C-14 gang members, became involved in an argument with rival gang members in another vehicle. Both vehicles left the area, subsequently meeting in the 1900 block of South 13th Street, where a second argument occurred. That's when Vidal Rodriguez-Alvarez approached the victim's vehicle on foot and then threw a screwdriver at the victim's auto. It entered the open driver's window and impaled into the victim's temple, causing her death. HERNANDEZ-CRUZ is wanted for arson of a building, criminal damage to property, and violation of a domestic abuse restraining order. On October 25, 2007, at a home in the 2200 block of South 30th Street, the suspect, who separated from his wife, damaged her vehicle by smashing the window with a crowbar. He later came back to the wife's home, attempting to have contact with her, violating the restraining order. The suspect then went to the residence that he and his wife own in the 1900 block of South 14th Street and set the house on fire. Ramon Ramirez is wanted for first-degree intentional homicide while armed. On October 9th in 2007, in the 2100 block of South Muskego Avenue, the victim was attending a party, got involved in an argument with someone. That's when the victim left with a friend, while the person he had been arguing with got on a phone and asked for a gun. That's when that subject later left and returned with Ramon Ramirez. The victim and his friend returned also, at which time he and the subject he argued with were going to fight. As the fight started and the victim knocked the subject to the ground, that's when Ramon Ramirez came from the side, pointing a gun at the victim and fired several shots at him and fled. The victim had gunshots to his back and died. Wanted for first-degree intentional homicide, 2 counts, and attempted first-degree intentional homicide, 3 counts, is OCTAVIANO Juarez CORRO, Now, he's been on our list for some time. This is a shooting that occurred at South Shore Park on Monday, May 29, 2006. Suspect saw his wife, from whom he was separated at the time, with her current boyfriend and all kinds of other friends and family. He became involved in an argument with his estranged wife, demanded to see his daughter. Others attempted to intervene, try to calm the situation down, but that's when CORRO produced a gun and fired numerous shots, striking his wife's current boyfriend numerous times and killing him. He then fired a second shot, and another victim was shot multiple times. He also died. The suspect also shot his wife, causing serious injury to her. Well, there you have it. That's Milwaukee's 10 most wanted criminals for the month of August. Now, we have a couple of ways that you can get us information that you may have on any of the people you just saw featured. You can give us a call at 414-935-7360, or you can go to our website at www.milwaukee.gov/police, and you can find a box on the front page of that website where you can email us a tip. You can do that completely anonymously. Thanks for joining us today, and we hope you'll help us get these dangerous criminals off the street.